Uh, uh, okay. Okay, definitely working. Sorry about that, guys. Just want to make sure the mic is actually working. Um, Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of June the Groomer, Ask June the Groomer live. Today is May 21st, 3:30. Oh, thank you. I'm okay, though. I just ate a lot. Thank you, Annabelle. Okay, I'll eat one. You want to say hi? No? Okay. How does it taste? More spice or more salt? Thank you. Sorry. Man, if people only knew, I was telling my wife, if people only knew what happened like just a few minutes, like frantic. Anyways, we're here. I wanted to, because I get a lot of questions about how to handle dogs that behave, that present obstacles and challenges while you're grooming them. Working out, is this going live? Uh, hey everybody, if anybody's here and they can, you can get the feed and everything. I guess just type something in. Oh, why is it not working? Okay, maybe it's just on my end. Alan Powell. Okay, perfect. Hey, Alan, how are you? All right. I was actually hoping that you would join me, Alan. You probably have some experience with this. Okay, so dogs with OCD, and the reason why I wanted to address this is because I get messages all the time regarding dogs with issues and things like that, and I'm not able to get to all of the emails that come in. Instagram, I really wanted to get back to because it stumps me. And I'll read it. It says, hi June, big fan of yours of YouTube videos. Okay, blah blah blah. I have a 9-year-old Yorkie which has been through a lot since Hurricane Sandy and has developed OCD. Nails, only eats food off of a spoon, cannot walk on carpeted floors. I love him so much and need help on how to help groom, feed him. Don't know where to go. Groomers won't touch him. He has become violent. The reason why, and I get, I mean, basically worded just a little bit differently. I get these kind of messages a lot, and I love to help. I welcome them. I'm just not able to answer all of them, but I feel like this, if I answer this question, it'll probably help a bunch of people all at once. And so I really wanted to address this. And also, OCD, I never heard of a dog having OCD. I just, I've never experienced that or having. So I wanted to kind of find out for myself what exactly is going on here. And like I think she was saying that it gets worse. Like he will only eat with the spoon out of a spoon and things like that. But anyways, and this is just one MD about dog behavior compulsive disorders, and here it's saying, can dogs have OCD? Not really, but they do get compulsive behaviors. What's the difference? Obsessive compulsive behaviors include obsessive thoughts, which don't apply to dogs since we can't know what they're thinking. So when I read that, I was like, since we can't know what they're thinking, then it is possible they do obsess, have obsessive thoughts as well. We just don't know. Is instead, in dogs, these disorders are called compulsive disorders. Here's some important insights into this curious behavior we call compulsive disorders. And then it goes into like, what are compulsive disorders? What causes compulsive disorders in dogs? Compulsive disorders are caused by conflict, stress, and or frustration. So after Hurricane Sandy, I mean, yeah, I guess it could have triggered something, right? So Alan Powell here, Renee Green. Hey, Renee Green, how are you? I hope I don't have food in my teeth. Oh my goodness, I'm sweating. Oh, we were like cooking, trying to eat, and part of my appearance. I was really planning on opening this up differently. I was gonna have like nice music playing, a beat, Anyways, you know. Um, ESP 92310. What's up, ESP? Danielle Johnson Jackson. Hi there. Hi, Danielle Johnson Jackson. Russell Jones, what's up, Russell Jones? Alan Powell, I just do them. Okay, make sure you use protection. No, no, it's kidding. Anyways, but yeah, that's exactly what I would say. And but I didn't want to reply to her that way and say, I would just get it done. Somehow I would just. How do you say that to somebody else? I know that I would try to get it done somehow. Maybe even take a few days. Just who knows? Because come up with creative ways to try to get whatever we need to get accomplished. Um, but yeah, because I'm not a trained behaviorist or a trained dog trainer or anything like that, I just know how to give good haircuts. So I know how to answer her, and I felt like if I could give with a good answer for her, a good solution, or maybe possible options, several different solutions as an option, then this would actually help several people who are dealing with these kinds of issues when it comes to grooming their dogs. Because yes, like, okay, fine, groomers don't want to groom my dog, he's aggressive, fine, I'll groom him. But what happens when you try to groom him yourself and you can't, because of these challenges? So my if you ask me, June, what would you do? You know, my honest answer would be and it's kind of like Caesar Milan. In a lot of his episodes, he says that he doesn't have a pre-planned like set like an agenda like he's gonna follow. It's just he goes in and sees what's going on and just goes from there and tries to read the dog and read the situation, gauge the temperature of the room, things like that, feel the energy level. And but it's hard to explain to another person, especially when I'm not educated in that area, to tell people exactly like, oh, and give them some intelligent, practical advice. When it comes to dog behavior and training, I'm not my area. I can teach you how to do a nice round Bichon head, or the Schnauzer eyebrows, ears, but stay still so that you can do the eyebrows. That I would probably just have to show you, or we can have some dog trainers or dog behaviorists um, express it. What like explain it a little bit more clear than I could. Um, Kiki2476. Hey June. Hey, what's up, Kiki? IU11. Hey, good afternoon. ESP92310. It's probably it's like the emoji. Alan Powell. Hard to say without seeing the dog though. Yeah, exactly right. Uh, Alan Powell. I doubt the dog remembers the hurricane. I could be totally wrong, but I bet the dog enjoys the extra attention. Yeah. See, and this is just me as a watching a bunch of Caesar Milan dog whisperer episodes. But yeah, I mean, usually it's the owner replaying that story, right? And that traumatic experience, and so the dog is just kind of feeding from that, right? That's not my area of expertise, so I don't want to say that and make somebody feel bad for no reason. Unless I have good reason to. But I mean, over time, compulsive compulsions get worse. Yeah. So like Alan is saying, on here, when you go to page 2 on that PetMed, petmd.com, and it's about the dogs that can have obsessive compulsive disorders. It's saying sometimes what appears to be a compulsive behavior is actually an attention-seeking behavior. So Alan, you probably hit it right on the nail, right on the head there. He probably does enjoy that extra attention, right? Even behaviors which start as a frustration-related behaviors can be rewarded inadvertently when owners pay attention to when he performs the behavior. For example, if an owner yells no, that is still regarded as a dog as attention and can perpetuate the behavior. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I guess the best advice I could give somebody would be, and there was another, I can't find it in that message thread, but there was it might not be that same person, it might be a different person, but there's another person that emailed me about her dog that it's gotten so bad that disorders, the aggressive behaviors and things like that, gotten so bad that he won't eat unless she feeds him out of a spoon. Um, well, my wife read it to me, but there's a bunch of other stuff, it's like, well, and I was just thinking, this dog won't eat unless it's fed out of a spoon. Well, then obviously it's not like a biological, it's not a physical something going on because obviously he's eating, he only will eat if it's served to him out of a spoon. So I don't know, like maybe it, and I don't want to say this, but like if it was me, I think I might, as long as I knew that this dog was okay and it was just choosing not to eat unless I did this behavior, feeding him from the spoon, I would probably go a few days and just let him, have the food right there available to him. He can go and eat it out of his bowl anytime he wants. But if he was waiting for me to feed him with a spoon, right? I mean, and I would do that for a little bit, but then maybe after like 3 days, then of course I'm not gonna let the dog die just because I'm trying this experiment. I need to prove something. I would take him to the vet and say, "What do you think?" I just fed him with a spoon because he hasn't eaten the past 3 days unless I feed him with a spoon. What do you think? I would probably get a professional opinion after that. But for real, like I would probably not feeding him for a while. Yeah. Our dog Weemy, my little Shih Tzu mix. So our girls were my wife, my producer. My wife was telling me, it reminded me that my little dog Weemy, he wasn't eating his food out of his bowl for a while. We were like, what? What's wrong? He usually loves this food. It was because my daughters were feeding him with, like feeding him out of their hand. And my wife tried it. She grabbed some food out of the bowl and put it up to his face. He was gobbling it up. So obviously he's hungry. He wants to eat it, but he's waiting for us to feed it to him with our out of our hand. And I was like, no. And once we figured that out, we just no. And so now he eats when we put the food out with Angel and Dexter as well. He eats because if he doesn't, Dexter's gonna kind of pressure him until he moves, and then Dexter's gonna eat his food. And because eat when it's time to eat, and not wait for my daughters to feed him out of their hand. So anyways, let me see here. Comments are coming in. Alan Ayala, did I say hi to you, Alan? Alan Powell, exactly my thoughts. The person should feel good about caring, though. In my opinion, it's good they care. We just need to find a balance. Oh my goodness, Alan, I like that. I like that a lot. It's about balance. Yeah, you don't want to be too callous and cold about it, but you don't want to be coddling either. Um, Alan Ayala. That was me. Oh, awesome. My York, Alan. Okay, my Yorkie became super OCD after Hurricane Sandy. Okay, Alan. Oh my goodness, perfect. Okay, so maybe Alan, you can. Thank you so much for joining us, by the way, Alan. I actually, did you get my message on Instagram? I told y'all we were gonna. Anyways, I'm glad you're here, because maybe you can give us a little more information, and we can really turn this into a really good brainstorming session here. Especially we got one of my favorite groomers, Alan Powell, on here with us. But Alan Powell even says, "Great name, Alan." Okay, so Alan Ayala. So you're Yorkie. You fed him with a spoon and things like that, right? Are you the same person, or is that two different Yorkies? But either way, um, Alan Powell, stick the spoon in the food bowl and walk away. Oh my goodness. Why didn't I think of that? Like a left bowl of cereal. Oh my goodness. Why didn't I think of that? So if the dog is not eat, won't eat unless you're giving the dog, yeah, put the spoon in the bowl, walk away. I like that. Ooh, call her. Oh, you know what? I don't know if it's a lady though, because now it's Alan. So yeah, so I think we thought it was a lady, but it's a he. It's a he, not a she. Yeah, Alan Ayala. All right. All right. Alan, I'm sorry. We thought you were a female. But okay, perfect. Let's see here. Dogs see it as a gift and hold it higher regard as food. They would find themselves. Okay, perfect. Dogs see it as a gift and hold it in higher regard as food they would find themselves. Yeah, so they're gonna wait for it, you know. ESP 92310 feels sorry for her dog and is not seeing the insecure behavior she is reinforcing. And she is actually he now. Without Alan, LOL, yes, Alan, great name. So this is Alan Ayala, so the owner of the um, only eats out of a spoon and walks only on a hardwood floor on a wee wee pad, but walks backwards when he comes back. Oh, that's right. It's all coming back to me. Okay. Most of the times goes to pee, then gets stuck there. Then we then have to get him where he cries over and over. Yes, thank you. Yes, I did. And Alan, yes. Okay. So walks on. He only eats out of a spoon. He only walks on hardwood floors. And he on a wee wee pad, but then walks backwards when he walks back from the wee wee pad. Most of the time goes to pee and then gets stuck there. Then we then have to get him where he cries over and over. Yeah, I mean, have you guys heard of a case like this? I mean, wow. I mean, I was at a loss for words. I was like, dude, you know, I know how I would give that dog a haircut. But as far as helping this owner out, I mean, I don't know. So Alan Powell says there are a couple videos on breaking barriers with smooth floor with Caesar Milan that could help. I did watch one. I think it was a Weimaraner, right, or one of those like smooth coated dogs. But it didn't want to go into the elevator either. It didn't want to go on these hardwood floors or smooth floors. I remember that. And there's a few dogs like that he worked on. I think Dolores. Hey, what's up, Dolores? Oh my goodness, Dolores. um, we still have to try to get together. But anyways, Dolores says, learn behavior from what we teach them. They feel our stress and anxiety. Maybe after the hurricane, some coddling was helping your stress and anxiety, the dogs too. So yeah, I mean, maybe after the hurricane happened and everything, it was a comforting thing for both the dog and the owner. Something came out from there. Vidalma Franco, hi June. I have 1 year of being a dog groomer. Awesome, awesome. That first year is like the honeymoon year. And then I remember the second year being kind of tougher. And this is a conversation I had with another dog grooming salon owner actually here in Atlanta. Puppin Cuts. She owns Puppin Cuts. But anyways, she and I had a good laugh. She was saying it seems like about 4 or 5 years is about the lifetime of a groomer. 4 or 5, maybe 6 years. And she was saying after 6 years, you're either grouchy or you're like super passionate. And I was, you know, I'm glad I'm not grouchy. But anyways, yeah, I mean, but you know what? These are all what people think and rules. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger says, break all the rules. If people burn out the third, fourth year. That's what they say. That's the rules they've made up. Break other people's rules. Don't break the law. Break the rules. Alan Powell. It's mostly slowly breaking him in with the steps they've taken. Yeah, I mean, and Alan Powell is unique because he actually does dog training, dog walking. He boards dogs. I think, right, Alan Powell? Like you watch dogs at overnight and things like that. He pets it at their homes as well. I mean, he's like the dog guy. He has, and his page is called Dog Gamut. But anyways, I really like that. Just and Ian. I remember when I talked with Ian. He kept bringing it back to just slow it down. Let's go back and slow it down and take it step by step. Ian King, that dog trainer from Washington that I had on the show for a couple episodes back, I think. Okay, Alan Oyala. It's odd. We have tried some ideas with the spoon. He sometimes will growl at my wife and refuse to eat. Ooh, I don't know. My wife will walk away with the spoon, and my dog, Austin, growls. Turn. Oh my goodness. And, okay, ESP 92310. Has he had his eyes checked? Okay, that is another possibility. 9 years old. Yorkie might be maybe getting old. Thank you, honey. Um, his eyes may be going bad, and maybe, but still, I mean, he should be able to know your wife by her scent, and for him to growl at her. I don't know. I don't know. Like the only time I ever got upset with Dexter, like really upset, was when he snapped at my wife, and he's never done it again. But yeah, I mean, I just like, yeah, bite me all you want, but not my wife and children. Like, uh, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, really. Because yeah, what do you do, right? When your dog is already displaying this behavior, it's like, okay, yeah, so let's say that's where I draw the line, but what does that mean? Do I get rid of that we've had for 9 years? Like, no. So what do you do now? Right? So let's see what other people have to say. Alan Ayala, all this happened after Hurricane Sandy. Cutting his hair, nails is really difficult also. He has become so difficult, so sad. Wow. So, if you got, maybe I can just Google it. When was Hurricane Sandy again? I think 2005, right? Hurricane Sandy was, what year was that? 2012. I'm sorry, that's like 7 years off. Okay, it's 2012. So that was 5 years ago. So okay, so this has been progressing for the past 5 years. That's a long time, and that's enough time for things to have gotten to the point where you can't ignore it anymore. It's probably escalated now to the point where it's a real problem. Um, let's see here. Alan Powell, has he been to a dog sitter since? And Alan follows that up with, I'm just wondering if he would be the same in a new situation where the person taking care of him didn't know the routines. Yeah, that might be an idea. Just break the routine with a whole new person. My dog has the same issues. Oh my goodness, Dia Davis. Dia Davis says, my dog has the same issues. We also got banned everywhere, and it took us a long time to find someone that could handle him. Now we take him to the park and put lavender oil on his feet before grooming. That probably does help, and the lavender oil definitely is calming. Um, and releasing energy for animals, it really. I was listening to a book called A New Earth or something like that by Eckhart Tolle. He also wrote The Power of Now. But he was talking about two ducks that fought, and then after the fight, the duck like did like did flapped his wings, and then just continued swimming like nothing happened. They shake it off, let all that bad energy out, and just let it go. And he's like, what if we could be more like these geese? But by releasing some of that energy, some of that tension before a groom, that could have a lot of benefits. Um, let's see, Vidalma Franco, you were an example how to groom an aggressive dog. Patience is all a dog needs. Yeah, but it's easier said than done. My wife and I were joking because I was not always this patient. Especially recently, I really feel like I've I catch myself becoming impatient more these days. I don't want to say I'm so patient now. Look at me, guys. When you reach my level of patience, no, it's just now I'm more aware and I catch myself more when I start becoming impatient. But I wanted to become, and I remember like writing my journals and asking the universe, God, whatever you want to call the higher power, but I asking for more patience. And it's like no wonder all of these things that come buttons and irritate me, frustrating things happen all day long. Obstacles in my way. Um, because how else am I going to learn patience other than keep consistently be confronted with situations that would test my patience, right? So yeah. Anyways, um, patient with the dog. But yeah, it really is a practice. It's something. But here's the if you don't have a lot of patience with dogs and you feel yourself getting frustrated or scared or nervous and angry or upset and things like that, just know that it is a skill. And just like any skill, patience can be learned and it can be developed. So, I'm the biggest example because like my wife would tell you some stories, um, my kids too. And actually, you don't even have to ask. Sometimes they will just blurt it out and say, "Yo, daddy used to." Anyways, um, let's see here. Alan Powell says it could be the way. It could be that there's a really strong connection with the pattern they're in. It's really hard to say without seeing it, but it seems like the dog is very smart. Of course, it's a Yorkie. I mean, it's a terrier. Of course, he's smart. He's probably got this whole thing planned from before Hurricane Sandy. He was just waiting for the moment. That Hurricane Sandy probably just provided him the right opportunity to execute this plan. I'm just kidding. I'm Alan Ayala. I'm just kidding. I don't want you to think I'm taking light of the situation. I mean, obviously, I care because I'm trying to come up with some solutions for you. Here we go. He has become alpha of the pack. I think we're coming to a consensus here. Alan Ayala, no, have not checked his eyes, but he has never really walked into anything. And I think even if his eyes were bad, he probably knows, your energy, you and your wife, and the way you smell. Not that you smell bad, but like Cesar Milan says, dogs are about scent and energy. So as soon as you come into you, he knows it's you. He feels your presence. Um, I mean, and sometimes, of course, you can startle a dog. I walk out on my dog sometimes, like, whoa, like they're like, oh, it's you. um, okay, Alan Powell, 2009. Oh no, yeah, at least you were closer. I thought 2005. Dolores Parr, have they tried dog food balls? So it's like a game, unless he is blind. Okay, using dog food balls, maybe. Alan Powell, I don't think it's a sight issue. Yeah, me neither. Alan Ayala, well, my wife and I are to watch him. We don't bring people over. He's just super sweet when laying down. But when it's time to eat or anything, he is super jumpy, scared of anything, scared of everything. So, and here's just saying like something that I heard Cesar Milan said, and I may be using it out of context because I am a dog psychologist or behaviorist or anything like that. I just know how to do a good Yorkie cut. But I remember hearing Cesar Milan say that that are not born to be alpha, they're not born to lead the pack. They will anyways if they see like a lack of a pack leader, a strong pack leader. In their sense, I'm not saying Alan, you are like a weak person or anything. It's just the way a dog perceives it. There's no pack leader, so if your dog takes on the position of pack leader when they're not born to, they're not made for it, cause a lot of stress and puts a lot of pressure, undue pressure on them, and they lash out at everything. They are scared of everything, and it's because they got to protect this pack, and they know how they don't feel equipped to, but they have to, and so it could be that. Now I don't know. I could be taking that out of context. I mean, but that it just kind of triggered that thought. ESP 92310. I think the behavior may have started after a traumatic event, but somewhere along the line, the behavior was reinforced. It's almost impossible to recommend a solution without a view of the interactions. So yeah, I mean, a lot of I know this is kind of off topic, but when I was working in car sales, a lot of times when people would want me to give them a trade value on their car or something, or I would tell them like I really can't give you an estimate. Same thing I think applies with dog behavior issues and things like that. Unless the expert is there to see all the little interactions and all the little intricacies and little details that go on that we would overlook, it's hard for them to really give you an accurate assessment. um, Alan Ayala, last time I brought Austin to a groomer, he called us to come get him and couldn't cut the hair. He suggested we find a vet that could have him sleep, then groom him. Yeah, and these days that is like the route that a lot of people are going is just put him to sleep, and that way he's out while it's all happening, and then he wakes up and he's in this new haircut, usually shaved down. um I don't know. I mean, it's a solution, it's an option, right? But I feel like there could be better options. um let's see here. The lowest part, especially, I agree that it became a learned behavior after the hurricane. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that hurricane really was the trigger point, and then, you know, maybe he behaved a little differently after, the day of, especially the day while it's going on. But then after the hurricane was over, he probably still was feeling a little, and then in response to that, the owners started to change their behaviors in response to what he was doing immediately after the hurricane. And then that probably became the new routine, maybe. Um, Alan Ayala, I hear you. Thanks for the help. And Alan, Rafael, he's definitely smart. Vidalma Franco, have they checked the teeth? He's 9 years old. Yeah, he may be having some tooth pain. You never know. This is ESP92310. Does he get plenty of fetch time? Games, work for treats. He is a terrier after all. If you don't use their energy, that energy gets pent up and manifests itself into behavioral issues. Okay, especially terriers, that's right, because they like to dig and hunt for things and find things. Yeah. Alan Powell is Alan Ayala, not a rescue, but my sister-in-law got a Chihuahua, was purchased from the same place, and her dog was super aggressive. I would think maybe not enough fetch time is the issue. And Alan Powell says Yorkies love walks. Oh yeah, I mean, I think most every dog's like walks, right? Maybe except Clumber Spaniels. But yeah. So and if anyone else has any, because it looks like I caught up with all the comments, but I mean, Alan Ayala, thank you Alan Powell, thank you so much. I really appreciate taking the time. And Alan Ayala, I hope, just kind of at least, and thank you so much for being open to people's feedback. I purposely kind of, withheld your name, and I didn't want to put any like, like anything that would like let anyone know that it was you specifically, because, I wasn't sure if you would people all in your business. But I really appreciate that. You're awesome. It shows that you really do care. It's not about your ego. It's not about how you look. You're trying to find solutions for your dog because you care about them. I mean, that's I felt that. I felt that through your messages, and that's what really triggered me. I wanted to help, you know. But anyways, ESP 92310 says first order of business is always the complete vet check. Then off to June the Groomer. Thank you so much, ESP. But yeah, I mean, so complete vet check. Yeah, do some blood work, because that is a really good point. Because a dog, like human beings, dogs will never come up to you and say, you know what, Alan, here has really been bothering me the last few days, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I've been gassy also. Dogs will never say that. Dogs will hide that. They're like, what shoulder pain? What gas? Do you smell that? I don't know. You know, dogs will try to hide it. So it's important to actually get them checked by a vet and have blood work done and things like that. Then they'll find things that probably are bothering the dog, but the dog will never show it. You know, it's a survival mechanism, right? They don't want to show their weakness. Alan Ayala, my mom took him a month after the hurricane due to us having to live with family. Not sure how she treated him, but she used to take care of a Pomeranian we had without problems. So Alan Ayala, it's all good. So appreciate all the help. Awesome. And he says, so nice of you all. Thank you so much, June. I wish you were in New York. Oh my goodness, Alan, I'm going to New York City in 2 weeks. I'm gonna be in Jersey City area, Secaucus, New Jersey. There's a event called the World Dog Expo, and amazing thing is, I just emailed the person that was in charge of the media and everything. His name is Alex, but I emailed Alex and I just told him like, hey, I have this blog and I'm really passionate, really want to go to this dog show, and if you could, if you could possibly consider one more person, for a press pass, would you please consider me, And he emailed, and I just sent it just thinking, you know what, at least I asked, right? At least I tried. I pretty much knew I wasn't going to get a yes, but then he emailed me back and said yes. I was like, oh my goodness. Not only that, but he was like, Todd says hi, wow. Like, anyways, the more amazing thing is my grandma, my last living grandparent, my father's mother. She's in New York. She's in Staten Island, very close to where I'm gonna be staying. Um, and she's sick, and she's not doing well. She's really old, and she's my last grandparent. So it's just amazing how it works out. You know, we're taking a family trip up there, and we're gonna grandmom and say, you know, anyways, it's the universe really does. I mean, I feel like Steve Jobs was onto something, you know, when he said that the dots connect when you look back at things. I think he was onto something. But yeah, Alan, oh, yeah, oh wow, I work in a hotel. Oh my goodness, that's amazing, Alan. Maybe we could meet up while I'm up there because I'm gonna be up there for about 3 days for that show, and then we're leaving on Sunday, June 9th, I believe, or June 11th. It's that weekend, so I think June something. We're leaving that Sunday, but yeah, it would be really cool to maybe even stop by and see the interaction, see what's going on for myself. Maybe we can even do like a YouTube live video from my phone, and you know, oh my goodness, this is amazing, Alan. Are you close? Are you close to Jersey City area? You know, this like Secaucus, New Jersey, Jersey City, and you know, there's Long Island right there. Anyways, um, ESP 92310 would love to go to Dog Expo. We'll have to catch the next one in Georgia. Yeah, and the Atlanta Pet Fair is every March. So next March they'll have another one. Um, oh, Alan Ayala. Wow, so sorry to hear about your grandma. Yeah, yeah. So that's the first stop I'm gonna make is to my grandmother's house, just so I that gets done. So things start happening and we have to leave and I wasn't able to go stop by, you know, so that's gonna be the first stop, see my grandma, and then, you know, um hey, I got you on Instagram now, so I'll keep in touch. Maybe we can try to coordinate something. um so it says Alan Yala, yeah, absolutely, I live in Queens, but I could see about driving out there. Yeah, we'll be in a rental van, so mind me bringing my crew with me. my and my assistants. Anyways, yeah, in Queens, that's awesome. I actually grew up in Manhattan, and there's a street called in Manhattan, 77th and 3rd. I fell out of a window, third story window out of apartment. Down in the floors are all like, you know, businesses and stores, and we lived up on the top upper floors. I fell out of a window when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Anyways, and I have like little like memories of it. Anyways, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna show my kids too. Like this is where Daddy fell out of the window, you know. Anyways, um, Alan, I awesome. Yes, Alan. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know if you believe in synchronicity, but I don't know why this all happened the way it happened. And also, before I even started this, oh my goodness, I'm serious. My wife kind of ended up laughing. I was like, if people only knew like what happens before a show, like things just start falling apart, you know, literally. And it's like fires start happening. And my wife and I are like scrambling to put it out. And a part of me even thinks like, oh, maybe I should just call the show off, you know? So glad. Russell Jones, establish your position as pack leader by asking your dog to work. Take him on a walk. Okay, that was a awkward pause there. Russell Jones says, establish your position as pack leader by asking your dog to work before you feed him. And just as you don't give affection unless your dog is in a and and just as you don't give affection unless your dog is in a calm, submissive state, don't give food unless your dog acts calm and submissive. And that's, you know, I don't know if you work with Cesar Millan at all, but that's, you know, I love that you know, philosophy, you know, calm, submissive energy. Um, and Alan, LOL. ESP92310 says, when things fall into place like that, you know you're heading in the right direction. Yeah, this is really weird. Like, this is really interesting. But all right. I mean, I really appreciate everybody's help on this. You know, I don't want to take up too much time. I don't want to just keep this running and, you know, go over the same things over and over. But I really appreciate this. I learned a lot from this. This was very insightful for me. First of all, just to know that there are dogs that experience compulsive disorders. Like anyways. So hope this was helpful to you. Whoever's watching this, I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much. And Alan, I'll see you in New York.